Name 3 famous cycling destinations LA is better than.
Ooh, this is going to be controversial.
Road cycling may be more popular in Europe, but California has some of the best cycling in the world. And I know what you're thinking. Everybody thinks that where they live has the best cycling, but my mission today, with the help of Phil Gaimon, a former World Tour pro, and a couple other friends, is to convince you that your next cycling vacation shouldn't be Mallorca, it shouldn't be Girona, it should be Los Angeles. And make sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to share a couple group rides and 4 of my favorite routes in the city, so when you do come here, you know what to ride.
Sick. This is why Mitch lives in LA right here. That's so cool.
There is incredible riding everywhere. I've been lucky enough to ride my bike in Bolivia, in Australia, in New Zealand, all incredible places to ride. But like a true American, I'm talking about things that I don't really know because I've never ridden my bike in Europe yet. That's why it was so important to talk with Phil about this, because he has real world experience. But before we talk to Phil...
All right, hit me with it.
Why is LA a good place to ride?
Dude, wherever you are in Los Angeles, you're so close to like really cool nature, especially in Griffith. Like, we have such a diverse environment. You could get up into the mountains really quick, or you could do flat miles at the beach like all day if you wanted. And our weather's insane.
Well, I do have to concede, the weather's been a little weird here in LA. You see, normally it's a perfect 72 degrees and sunny. That's like, what, like 23 degrees Celsius? How many degrees Celsius is 72 degrees Fahrenheit? 22.22. Did I just guess that right? I'm getting better at the metric system. But this year it's been a little rough. You see, not every day's been sunny. We've had a few cloudy days. And we've had a few days in the 60s, which is like 17 degrees Celsius. We've really been struggling here. Now, I can combat the colder temperatures by wearing long sleeve jerseys, and that's what I've been doing. But to deal with the changing lighting conditions, I think I'm gonna have to get some new glasses from SunGod. Full disclosure, SunGod is one of my sponsors. They're not paying for this video, but whichever pair of glasses I pick, they are gonna send me for free. And I already know I'm gonna pick some glasses with their iris lenses, so they adjust to different lighting conditions, which, as you now know, is exactly what I need. So the only decision left is the most important one. What color am I gonna pick?
Let's do some shopping. Man, I love this like gray look, but let's try some different, let's try some different colors. Could go the pink, could go red, clear. Clear is interesting, frosted clear. Do I wanna go frosted clear? Black, oh, it's so hard. I think I'm gonna try stone for this. Let's see. I mean, the clear looks pretty cool too. I'm gonna do it. Let's go clear. Let's go clear. And then let's make that icon pop a little more, right? Anyways, if you're a nerd like me, playing around with all this stuff is a lot of fun. Here's our setup. We got the Vulcans, we got the full frame, frosted clear, AKO Iris HV blue lens. So you can see it kind of changes a little bit as there's more light. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna do it. You can probably already see it. As they're exposed to sun, they become darker. As there's less light, they become lighter. Transition for whatever lighting condition you're in. And yeah, we're rolling out. I'm headed to Griffith Park. That's where I'm meeting Phil today. I got my new sunglasses. I've got new shoes. Feeling pretty good. I haven't shaved my legs, so I'm a little porcupine-y. I might get points docked for that. But really, the reason why I'm riding with Phil, besides just, for fun, is that I want to ask him what he loves about riding in LA. I think like a lot of people don't understand how good riding is here, and Phil obviously does. He could live anywhere, and he chose to be here. So let's find out why.
I came out to California really for the first time in 2013. I was training for altitude races. I was up in Big Bear. I had a friend who offered me to stay at their house. And then I went and visited a buddy in Thousand Oaks, and we did the climbs in Malibu for the first time. And I looked around. I was from Georgia, and I was like, I can't leave here. And I kind of figured out how to make this work. And so yeah, I've been in Los Angeles a little over 10 years now. If there was anywhere else that I could do everything that I do, I would think about it. But like in the US, I'm just not seeing it.
I asked Phil for a hot take on 3 famous cycling destinations that are overrated when compared to Los Angeles.
Nice is amazing, but there's just nowhere that you have this kind of variety. And Nice has weather, which is a problem. Weather is kind of everything when you ride bikes all the time. So other than today where it's kind of cold out, it's perfect. I mean, I lived in Girona. I think LA is better. There's kind of, the riding in Girona is great, but there's a fair bit of junk miles to get to the climbs. There's a lot more climbs here. Majorca's super nice, but every time I went, it rained. So I think statistically, Majorca's fine, but my personal experience was just getting rained on there. So I can't bring myself to go back.
After the ride, I did a bit of due diligence to make sure that what Phil said was backed up with data. And it is. This is what it looks like when you compare the weather in LA to Nice, Majorca, and Girona. As you can see, the temperatures are better. There's less rain, there's more sunshine. The weather's just better here. In fact, one of the main reasons why the movie industry started in Los Angeles was because of the amount of sunlight and good weather that they had. It was a lot easier to shoot outside in nice sunlight with good temperatures that weren't melting or freezing your equipment. And that's also one of the reasons why, as a cyclist, I like to ride here. I don't want my equipment melted or frozen. Of course, the best weather in the world doesn't matter if you have nowhere good to ride your bike. You've heard Phil mention Malibu now, but there's actually a lot more to LA.
Malibu is amazing. Where we are right now is Griffith Park, which is this beautiful oasis for cyclists right in the middle of Hollywood. You can climb, there's like 3 different climbs that are closed to traffic.
If you've watched some of my other videos, you may already know my main shtick on YouTube is riding up really steep streets, and that's just a result of where I live here on the east side of Los Angeles. A lot of people tend to think of LA as like the beach, but LA is huge. It's a sprawling city, and most of LA, more of LA, touches mountains than touches beaches. It's actually a very hilly, mountainous city, which makes for a variety of great bike riding. And if you like steep streets like me, the east side is where you're gonna wanna go. Seeing a double-digit grade is just part of every ride. What's not normal is just doing them over and over again like I was with Phil on this ride.
You done all the bird streets?
No, where are the bird streets? Okay, oh boy. That's a scary laugh.
They're all the ski pitches and sunset.
Oh, nice. All right, let's do it.
Phil likes to do these like endurance rides where he hits 10,000 feet of climbing. His endurance ride is a threshold ride for me, which basically means like I am riding at the limit the entire time. Phil eventually took some pity on me. We went and we had a cookie because how can you ride with Phil and not have a cookie? I went home and he continued to ride, you know, for several thousand more feet.
Phil is very nice. I basically had to do threshold efforts every single hill. I'm doing like 290, 300. I think for him, that's like his zone too, maybe tempo. But I survived. Like a year and a half ago when I first started riding with him, I was at his recovery pace. So now if I'm, you know, upper zone 2, low tempo, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
I just want to say this, and Mitch, don't edit this out. I don't know if people know that we know each other. Mitch hit me up like, what was it, a year and a half ago, and you were some kind of computer job thing. And you were like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna help you edit some videos. I'd film, give it a try. And I looked at your Instagram and I was like, this guy, yeah, this might work. And you came over and you're awesome. And it's really cool to see what you're doing, and like you're making it. It's really hard, and you're doing it right. Mitch is an awesome dude. That's all. I just want to say that.
Thanks, Bill. I'll pay you the $20.
I'm drunk.
The fact that you can get 10,000 feet of elevation just in the city, like going up and down the Hollywood Hills, is pretty incredible.
It's expensive here, but you get what you pay for. The city, all the culture, so you could kind of, I'd go smash myself in the Hollywood Hills all day and then go into Beverly Hills and have like a fancy sandwich for lunch. There's just nowhere else. You could see Dave Chappelle that night. There's just nowhere else you can do that.
But there's a lot more to riding in LA than just riding city streets. In fact, there's so much variety, you would struggle to find consensus on what the best and worst ride in LA is.
What's your favorite ride in LA?
The canyons out by the coast, Yerba Buena. It's gorgeous. Worst ride in LA? It's also very beautiful, but the 2 is just so sketchy.
What's your favorite ride in LA?
Highway 2, you just keep taking it all the way up to Dawson Saddle. It's one of the longest and most elevation gain climbs in the United States, and worst ride in LA. Getting to the start of the Dawson Saddle climb, drivers are terrible.
Worst climb. Angeles Crest Highway, which is a lot of people like racing their cars up that, and it's kind of a long, boring, not safe section of road. At the bottom, it's always too hot. At the top, it's always too cold. I never figured it out.
It's cold. I should have worn long sleeves today.
I make myself do it once a year, and it is beautiful, especially at the last 3 or 4 miles are incredible. I'll give it that. But to get there is sort of a gauntlet.
While Angeles Crest Highway is a bit divisive, Malibu seems to unite everybody. In fact, there's one climb in Malibu that's almost unanimously viewed as the crown jewel, and I've included it in one of my favorite routes, which I'll share here in just a second. But first, I know some of you are interested in group rides, and LA has a lot of them. It was actually pretty tough to narrow it down to just a couple, but here are 4 of the best group rides in Los Angeles. 2 of them are my favorite group rides, and 2 of them are kind of world famous. So first up is ponies. This is what I consider my local group ride in Griffith Park, which is right in the heart of Los Angeles. You ride up Mount Hollywood Drive, definitely worth doing even if you don't do this group ride. The climb is closed to cars, so it's super safe. There's a bunch of people at a bunch of different skill levels, so you can find the group that you want to ride with. If I were to say something bad about the ponies group ride, and this goes for a lot of the riding on the east side of LA, the quality of tarmac at times is questionable. So it's worth it to use tubeless tires, use bigger tires. I've always run like 28s. I currently have 30s on my bike, and then the route is no problem. For as bad as the tarmac can be at sometimes, the ride itself, the route, the climb, the views, the fact that you're in the middle of the city and you can experience this every Wednesday morning or any time you want, really, you just go to Griffith Park and ride, that's pretty incredible. And Griffith isn't the only park in the city. Just a couple miles south is Elysian Park, which is where Dodger Stadium is, but it's also home to the slightly less famous Something Different ride, which was started by Andrew Jackson and Tim Riley. Tim owns the coffee shop Heavy Water, which is definitely worth a visit. It's very cyclist friendly. And if you do the Something Different ride, you're gonna start and end at the coffee shop. Now, the Something Different ride is not a road ride. It's a gravel ride. I did a video on it, you can check it out. It's pretty intense for a gravel ride. Like, Andrew has a BMX background. His bike handling skills are insane. Definitely a ride that I think you should come check out, because riding single track in the middle of the city above the 5 freeway is a pretty unique experience. Now, I had previously described the next 2 group rides as world famous. Those aren't my words.
Nichols is great. Nichols is like, there's a group ride that's been racing up that for God knows 30 years now, the Lagrange ride. And it's kind of like, when I stopped racing, I had, I'm not gonna do the pack thing anymore. I'm not gonna but I still like group rides. I still like the competitive element. And that one just starts up this really tough little twisty climb in Hollywood. Ends up being really safe and fun. And I have power data from 15 years. I just watch myself get a little bit slower every year now.
You may recognize the Nichols ride from a Safa video where Phil Gaimon and Sean Quinn raced each other. The other ride that sometimes hosts World Tour pros and former pros is the Now ride, which starts in Santa Monica and goes down the Pacific Coast Highway, which can be beautiful. I don't love the PCH, to be honest. It's a highway, there's a bunch of cars, but it is a bit of a necessary evil if you want to ride in Malibu. Unless you start in Calabasas, which in my opinion is where you should start your Malibu rides. I live way over on the east side. Technically, I can ride my bike to Malibu, and I have done it before, but that's an automatic like 80-mile ride, and most of that ride is getting to Malibu. And I've dropped links for routes that you can use when you come to visit. There's a route that goes up Angeles Crest Highway. There's one for Griffith Park and Elysian. There is one for Hollywood Hills. And there is one for Malibu, which starts at Peddler's Fork. There's plenty of parking, there's good food, and you don't have to be on the PCH. Unless you want to ride the best climb in Malibu and probably all of LA.
Best climb in all of LA. If you're gonna go here and like focus on one climb, the answer is Latigo. It's in Malibu. You can see the coast the whole way. It's just, that's kind of like the meat of it from there. And it's super long, but it's sort of the base of like, you're not gonna have a bad day if you go up or down Latigo.
You just have to go for yourself. You'll understand very quickly why Phil had to live there. In fact, he has a Fondo every year riding through the Malibu hills because he loves it so much. But out of everywhere I have been, Malibu is my favorite place to ride. Of course, this summer I'll be in the Alps, so maybe that'll change.